Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game rules by Chaosium. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try very hard to stick to language for all ages, listeners should know that this podcast may include mature themes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., that may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways Podcast. I'm your keeper, Michael, and we return to Mask of Nyarlathotep in our Shanghai chapter. And so, as we like to do at the top of the show, we'd like to thank you, the listener, and especially you, the Patreon supporter. You can join your fellow Patreon supporters at patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. And hopefully you are planning on seeing us this June at Origins in Columbus, Ohio. We'll be there from June 21st to the 24th. Live shows, games, etc. Come join us live. But before that, let me get to introductions. To my right.
This is Tiffany, and I play Maeve O'Shea, and I'm having a conversation with the doctor.
Indeed you are, about things near and far. To Miss O'Shea's right.
This is Morgan, and I play Lillian Lane, and my voice isn't always this sexy. It's just because I have a cold.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a trank gun.
Indeed you do. At the end of the table.
This is Jake. I'll be playing Jack Doyle. And so anyways, I started blasting.
Indeed. Actually, you're not blasting just yet, but soon. To Jack's right.
This is Lonnie. I'm playing Robert Drummond, and I have a pokey thing.
Indeed, you do. To Mr. Drummond's right.
Hi, this is Heather, and I play Stasi, and we're about to go rescue a princess and take down the bad guy.
Yeah, best of luck with that. And to Stasi's right.
Hi, this is James, and I'll be playing Dr. Sigmund Hattenbach. And we are also talking about many things most interesting and secret.
Interesting. Last but most certainly not least.
This is Alex. I'll be playing Samuel, and if I have my way, we'll be turning more than one of these guards into a Pez dispenser.
Ooh, interesting. All right. So, as we raise the curtain tonight, there are several of our investigators who are attempting to get the best of a few of what they believe are Ho Fang's men across the street from his massive estate. So what's the approach look like? Walk me through it.
So I have a question for the keeper.
I'm sure you do.
Are there any approaches where the people that are in front of this unfortunately placed house, and are there any places in the street that they can see that the front gate can't necessarily see?
Directly at the front gate, maybe. Part of the issue with the front gate across the street from that house is that there are several of these wide and yet not so tall slits at the top of the walls. Yes?
I'm thinking someplace perpendicular to the house. You said there were some people out front smoking, hanging out, doing general meandering things. So I'm trying to think if there's a place on the road that they can see that isn't necessarily readily visible by the compound. Perhaps down the street a bit, or like around a corner.
Yeah, I mean, around a corner, sure. So when you guys made that turn one street north and then looked left to look to the estate, that house that sits across from the estate isn't too terribly far. It's gettable. You might have to pick your way through, a couple of houses to get there, whether that be from behind those houses or whether that be trying to slink along the front of the street. The difficulty here is that the compound itself, the house, is fairly well lit on the outside. It sits directly across from this house that you're targeting.
Yes.
And there aren't, the makeup of this location is not like we would say in suburbia in the US. There are no big sprawling front yards and trees to hang out in. There's nothing like that. One might say it's purpose-built.
So if their door faces the front door of the compound, that means the back of said house faces opposite it. right? Like it faces away from the gate.
Mm-hmm.
And just one last question. How big is this house? Is it relatively small?
The houses here are not necessarily as large, this house specifically. So it's probably a fairly average sized house for this place in this period, meaning that it's one story, it's relatively long, it's, maybe 15 or so yards wide at the most. Actually, not even that. It's probably 10 yards wide.
Then I will turn to my two fellow lurkers. So I have a thought. I'm pretty sure that I could draw at least one, if not all of them out without causing too much of a disturbance. They might get concerned, but they likely won't raise an alarm. They may be confused for a time. And in that moment, you might be able to seize them, but we need to get them away from the front of the house.
You want to go in through the front and not try the back?
No, I want to draw the 3 guards away from the front of the house into a more secluded area so that they can be summarily dispatched.
And drawing the guards from the front, which are in view, you do not think would be suspicious for those watching?
Well, assuming that they went back, assuming that they came back to resume their post at the front, no, it wouldn't.
So you're suggesting we swap places with them?
That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
I see.
All right.
I said, I'm pretty sure I can draw them out. If you two can lie in wait, I'm relatively certain I'll be okay for a moment. Maybe.
Well, you have proven yourself hard to kill. I have no doubt on that.
You don't know the half of it. I kind of unconsciously rub my arm.
I'm good at hanging around.
Are there any places for them to hide?
You might be able to hide between some of the houses. There's not a ton of room. So basically, when you turn that left corner, it's essentially 3 houses before you're at what you are calling the bolt hole house.
Mm-hmm.
So is it possible to stick close to those houses, the front of them, and get close enough to the house where you could strike at those people? Sure. It's dark out, so you're going to be harder to see anyway.
Especially if I draw them out, right? So
I think, tactically speaking, some of the people here who have done multiple types of these missions before, the biggest concern with drawing them out would be alerting the estate.
Right. So, because we can't very well just go around the front and dispatch them. So we'll just try to do this quickly. If it goes sideways, I will allow them to pursue me, and then they'll eventually make their way back here. So if my cover is blown or the position is compromised, don't expose yourselves. Let things die down. Let Jack know that we have to go with plan B.
What's plan B?
The dynamite.
Okay. So, Sam, are you going to go draw them out?
So once they're in position, I'm going to venture down the street a bit to the point where one of them near the edge might be able to see something move. And I am going to dramatically crumple to the ground in obvious fashion, face down.
Acting. Yep, please roll acting.
I would love to roll acting. That is a hard success, 34 into 77.
You crumple like a leaf. Okay. A few seconds tick by. And a few more. You hear some voices in Cantonese sort of pick up a little bit. The other 2 scout team members can make me listen rolls.
No, I can't. That's a 77 over 60. I can't make a listen roll.
That is a 33 under 50.
Okay. Yeah. Stazzy, you hear something like, is he drunk? He must be drunk. Get him out of the street.
I basically nudge Drummond, hold up one fist with my brass knuckles on it, and nod in that direction.
I pull the knife and hang it low by my side.
Some footsteps begin to approach you, Sam.
I will very cautiously peek out of the very corner of my eye closest to the feet. And as soon as I see them approaching, I would like to spend a point of sanity.
Okay.
I'm staying face down, but I'm focusing on the person who is approaching me first. And I am attempting to remind them of someone who they might be concerned about once they manage to get me rolled over. But until then, I'm not moving.
Okay. They get closer to you, and you hear a voice that says a series of words.
I'm also actively not breathing.
You hear the footsteps get a little closer, and then you feel yourself get kicked. Not hard, but, someone nudges you with their foot.
I will choose not to respond.
The other scout team members hear a call. Those of you who speak Cantonese, you hear someone say, "Yeah, he's passed out. We're going to have to pull him out of here."
How many do we see?
It looks like there's about 4 on the front of the house. Only 1 has gone over there. Sam, you feel the ground move a little bit underneath you as the person walks towards your legs.
Still focusing.
And then you feel a hand wrap around your ankle.
Okay.
And then someone slowly starts to pull you out of the street.
Then, since they are not making an effort, I will conveniently, while I'm getting dragged, roll over.
Okay.
As part of the, motion of being pulled. Not out of my own volition, of course.
Sure. Of course not. Yeah, you roll over. And when you do, you probably get pulled a good 2 or 3 yards. And then you conveniently roll over. And after another step or 2, this person stops. Stasi, Drummond, are you making your move closer towards the house, or are you still waiting?
How close are they to us at this point?
At this point, they are not close to you really at all. They're probably a good 20 yards away from the corner that you're at right now. I mean, he's drawn one of them closer. But there's still 3, 4 more up at the house.
Can I move closer to it? Stealth.
Yeah, you can make a stealth roll, sure.
I will do the same.
All right.
That is an 5 under 70.
Ooh, okay, extreme success.
That is a 1 under 85.
That is a critical success. Take 5 points of luck. And we'll just make a couple of rolls opposed, as stealth is always opposed in this case. All right. How close would you like to get?
As close as I possibly can without revealing myself.
Okay. So the 2 of you could likely make it all the way up to that house, continuing on the sort of front space, and you could likely even get into the doorway of that house with those rolls.
Get into the doorway how? They're in front of the door.
They are, but there aren't porches like proper here, right? But there is a sitting area with a couple of chairs in front of this property, right? This is where these guys are hanging out at. And behind them is the house itself, and there's a doorway. And there's space. There's probably a good 5-10 feet between those 2 things.
Is there one of the 3 in front of the door that's a little bit farther away from the other 2? How are they grouped?
They're probably all sort of, the 3 of them at this point that you see are right around that table. They're paying very close attention to whatever their friend is doing, whatever body he's dragging.
Whichever one is farthest back, closest to me,
yeah,
paying attention, I would like to try to give him some nice dreams.
Okay,
allow him a little rest.
Okay, so what that is in Call of Cthulhu in this sense is you are going to be making what's called a knockout roll. So knockout is a specific type of combat maneuver, and you're able to make it because you're attacking from surprise. And then I would ask Mr. Drummond, what are you doing?
we're not able to exchange, so she takes me by as much surprise as they do.
Mm-hmm. So if you're attacking from surprise, I'll give you the options, Stasi. Either I will give you a bonus die on the attack, or I'll let you take the automatic hit. The difference being with the bonus die, obviously you have the opportunity to potentially roll a critical, and if you do, it basically means max damage plus roll damage.
Let's chance it.
Okay.
So I'm rolling Fighting Brawl.
You are, and you're going to re-roll your 10s die and take the lowest of the two.
First roll, that is a 46 under 73.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling the 10s die again. And that brings it to a 6 under 73.
Okay, so that's definitely an impale. So it's critical damage. So it's normally D3, but your brass knuckles make it what?
Brass knuckles is a 1d3 plus 1.
Okay, so roll me a D3 plus 1.
Round up or down?
Round down.
Okay, so that is a 2 plus 1, so total of 3.
Okay, so plus the impale, which is maximum damage, so that's 4, so that's 7 points of damage. So yeah, he needs to make a con roll now. Knockout blows are not easy.
The idea is to knock him out, or at least get a hold of him and bring him back.
Okay.
Out of sight.
So you cock your fist back with the brass knuckles in your hand, and you basically wallop him in the back of the head. He spills forward, going to the land of dreams in his own way. Drummond, what are you doing when you see her cock her fist back? That's the first moment you have to react to anything.
Oh, shit. I freeze for half a second.
Mm-hmm.
Then I realize that me doing nothing will do nothing, so I will stick the knife in the weasand of someone else.
Okay. So again, it's a surprise attack.
Yeah.
So either you can take the advantage die, or you can just take the automatic success.
I'll take the automatic success. My fighting brawl is not good enough.
That's perfectly fine. Now just roll damage plus your strength bonus.
1.
Oofda. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you stab somebody. You hear from this guy that you stab. And Sam, the guy who is pulling your leg, suddenly stops and turns.
Well, I mean, I don't understand Cantonese, but I understand reactions. Do I feel like I'm noticed? Do I feel his eyes upon me?
No, actually.
Okay.
You don't.
But he dropped me. Or stopped, anyway.
He stopped, yes.
So I guess I will peek ever so gently.
You peek ever so gently, and you see that this guy has stopped, and he's dropped. He's seemingly letting go of your ankle, because beyond him, at the bolt hole house, you see that your compatriots are beginning to waylay these people at the front of the door, and it looks like Drummond just stabbed somebody, and that person is not in a healthy position.
So this person, the person who was dragging me, their back is to me at this point?
It is now, yeah.
Okay. Then I, much like the ghost of Christmas past, will rise from the ground, grab them about the face, and insert my machete somewhere in their torso and hope that it exits their face.
Okay. So I think it's reasonable that you would have them in surprise. So I will give you the same thing, an automatic, or you get an advantage.
I'll take the advantage.
I thought you might.
So that's a 19 under 78. So if I re-roll the 10 to 5, so I'll take the 19. How would I need to make it an impale? How low do I have to go?
Let's 78 divided by 5. Yeah, so I think like 4 points.
I'll spend 4 points of luck. That sounds worth it. So I just slide it in there for max damage plus max damage.
Yep. So you not only impale this man with your machete, you do so without him having a chance to make a sound. You are now holding a dead man. Not that it's the first time. And the culling can begin. So we're going to drop into rounds. now that nobody's surprised anymore. Mr. Drummond, you're up.
Stabby stab. I will spend 5 points of luck to make that a success. 25 under 25.
Okay. You may roll damage, sir.
2 points.
Okay. You stab him again. Ah! You hear.
So just so I'm clear, what I see, so Stasi is behind somebody who just got knocked out, and Drummond is basically like prison shanking someone.
Yes, that is exactly what you're seeing.
He's using him as a pincushion.
Stasi, the man that you punched in the back of the head has collapsed onto this porch area, sort of in the front of the house here. Mm-hmm. Your body sort of thumps against the wood planks. And there is another gentleman now that no one's engaged with, and he turns towards you. But Sam is going to get a chance to act before he does.
So the person that I'm holding right now, I look to my right and my left. Is there anywhere for me to pitch him?
I mean, on the ground? Sure.
If I like kick him off of my blade, can I send him going somewhere that is like relatively out of view?
Not really.
Well, we're not really in front of the house, though, right? We're off in the middle of
you're off a little bit from the house, but not terribly far.
Okay. Well, I will kick him in the opposite direction then, and I will. The person who turns, who's still standing, who hasn't been engaged, will become. I would like to propose, if I may.
Are you single? Or are you just gonna?
I am really. I would like to be one.
Okay. So you can close distance with your move rate, and you'd be able to utilize Fighting Brawl against him if you'd like. I'm going to make a listen roll for him to see if he detects that you're behind him.
Okay.
That's a pretty good listen roll. So no advantage die for you in this case.
That's fine. So what I want to do is, as far as I can tell, so I can't really help Drummond out because Drummond's going to keep stabbing that chap. But I need to make sure that this one can't respond. So I need to engage him in a grapple rather than a stab. I need to get around his face. So we are going to, whether he knows I'm coming or not, I'm going to try to get him in a face lock of some kind so as to prevent any wailing or complaining.
Okay, yeah, it's Fighting Brawl. It's contested, of course.
That's a hard success, 29 under 78.
That is a 3. So you go to grapple him about the head, neck, and shoulders, and he sort of pirouettes out of it and produces a very sharp blade. What is your dex, Stasi?
65.
Okay, you will go before he does.
So as he pivots around, and we notice Sam pop up originally behind him and now in front of him, I would like to probably do something similar to what Sam was originally trying to do, and would like to come up behind him. In this case, I like to pull up my straight razor.
Okay.
And would like to just very gently give him a lovely new red necklace.
Okay, a Fighting Brawl.
I'd like to spend 15 points of luck to make that a success, please.
Okay. He is going to fight back and attempt to essentially parry the razor. He will be at disadvantage because he has already fought once this round. Okay. Roll damage.
That is 1 point.
Okay. You get past his guard and you cut him. And he seems... I guess he seems to be furiously upset and is ready to deliver a blow to you. So he turns this blade on you, and he is going to attempt to gut you like a fish. You have the opportunity to dodge or fight back, your choice.
I would like to try to dodge.
Okay.
79 under 80.
It is a match, so the tie will go to you. And you dodge out of the way, out of a pretty vicious-looking swipe. It is at this point, in this second round of things, as we get to it, that I will offer our scout team listen rolls.
No.
I will spend 2 more points of luck to make that a success. 60 under 60.
Sam?
Hard success, 20 under 63.
Okay. So you can tell that there is someone coming down the street. Anybody who makes a successful roll can tell that somebody's coming down the street. They appear to be coming towards the estate. Just a person on foot.
Quickly?
No, they're just walking. Do with that what you will, though. It's not the top of the round just yet. Because that gentleman's going to get a chance to fight back. Because he's been shanked a couple of times. He is going to try to, turn and elbow you.
I will fight back.
I thought you might.
Not with that roll, I'm not going to. 62.
He swings, and he catches you with an elbow to the side of your face for a point of damage. But there is a significant flesh-on-flesh pop when he hits you, and you can feel the impact of the bone on your skull. Now it's the top of the round, and now you may defend yourself if you would like, or continue to attack, Mr. Jones.
I'm going to defend myself by removing the attacker.
Always a subtle play.
And one more time down the well. 15 luck to make that a success.
Okay, roll damage.
That's better. 6.
All right, you drop this guy. So after stabbing him a couple of times and then him turning and hitting you with his elbow, you take the opportunity with him completely sort of turned a bit, torso-wise, and you stab him in the back of the neck, and he falls on the ground. Sam.
So this fellow just turned to swipe at Stasi, and his back is to me again. Is the door to the house open? The doorway?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to shove him and push him through the door, like with a tackle. Going to get him into the house.
Okay. So it's fighting brawl, and it's opposed by him fighting back.
That is a hard success, 21 under 78.
Okay. You have him by a single point. So okay. You have a hard success.
I drive him as far as I can into the house.
Half your move, so enough to get up the porch, and essentially you get him into the doorway. And so you've driven him far past where Stasi was fighting him, and he, as he is the only person left to speak for what you believe are Ho Fang's men, it would fall to Stasi first and then to him. So, Ms. Fairchild?
I believe I will assist Sam in getting him, as he tries to get this my dance partner back into the house. I will assist with that, with a push and a few licks.
Yeah, it's fighting brawl, essentially. And it isn't meant to do damage. You're trying to get him somewhere.
That's 00.
That's terrible. What is your fighting brawl?
73.
Okay. So either way, it is a fumble. And I'm going to play a hand of fate against you on your fumble. You go to push him, and at the last possible moment, what this man who's being pushed does is he simply sets the handle of that blade against his thigh and lets you run yourself through with it.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's 6 points of damage you'll take. As you impale yourself on his blade while trying to push him into the space. That said, it's now his turn. And so his plan will be to call for help. And so he opens his mouth and yells something in Cantonese. And he yells it a couple of times. And so what I'd like is the team back at the car to make hard listen rolls.
Only a 40 under 75, so...
Yeah, only 37 under 47.
21 out of 79 for hard success.
47 out of 20.
So for those of you with hard successes, you hear in the distance towards the estate, especially those of you who speak Cantonese, you hear someone calling for help repeatedly. And it is not a voice you are familiar with.
So who else here heard it besides me? And I don't speak Cantonese.
I think it's just you.
It's just you.
Oh.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great.
So, Lillian, you hear someone screaming.
Do you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Somebody's yelling. I kind of point the direction it's coming from. Maybe we should go check that out.
Yeah, you know what? Let's mount up.
Doc's behind the wheel.
You fire up the engine, Doc?
Oh, yes. Doc fires up the engine and revs it a couple of times so it's ready to rock and roll. No stalls or anything. And are we ready to go?
Let's go. I hit the top of the truck because I'm going to be in the flatbed.
You don't have to have a high drive roll to put the hammer down.
Nope, you don't. There's nothing you're doing by driving basically a block and a half that's going to incur a penalty or require a roll at any time.
Excellent.
So, that said, I'd like to deal with what's going on at the house now that you're driving up. Mr. Drummond, it is your initiative technically. At this point, if you're trying to stab him in any way, he has some cover from Sam, who is bodily trying to just push him into the house. Stasi next to you has likely stepped away a bit, and you can tell that she's bleeding.
Someone's coming.
This is dumb, but I'm going to do it anyways because it's really the best option I've got.
This is the memorable portion of the game, Lonnie. Go ahead.
I'm basically going to do a shoulder tackle of this guy through the door.
Okay, so you're going to make a meat sandwich out of you and Sam.
Yep.
Very good. Fighting brawl.
Yum.
Hey, that didn't work. 41.
Actually, Mr. Drummond, I'm going to spend a hand of fate in your favor.
Ooh.
And so it does work.
Ooh.
69 on his fighting brawl roll.
Nice.
And so he is unable to fend you off. Sam, you get sandwiched.
Normally there's Jack in this sandwich. There's only cheddar now.
So the three of you collapse because obviously you were not prepared for Mr. Drummond's weight, Sam, and neither was this assailant that you are dealing with. And you all spill into the front room of this house with chairs going everywhere and general upheaval. But you're in the house.
Chaos is, I live for it. So here we are. We made it inside.
You did. And now it's your action, Sam.
So just so that I have an understanding, he came in from behind, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now we're just, do we just sprawl or are we like a ball of people?
You're kind of a ball of people.
So I will extract myself from the ball slightly just to get up on a knee so I can get some leverage. And I'm going to wheel back that machete and I'm going to put as much of it through this man as I can before it reaches the ground.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a fighting brawl roll. Given the fact that there's been a successful maneuver against him and the sort of logistics of it, he's not going to be able to dodge, really.
Good, because that's an extreme success. Is a 14 under 78.
You cock back the knife. And as you do, as this machete cocks back, you get that sort of perfect timed space where you know you'll be able to cut at him and rend him essentially from the earth. And as you do, you hear, "Thank you. I'll take another." And he perishes.
I will probably pause. Sam pauses, blade in the floor, hand kind of vibrating from the blade stuck in, and will stand up, leaving the machete in the floorboard for a moment.
Okay. Mr. Drummond, the man that you're on top of is dead. That much is clear. And so you're able to fairly easily roll off to one side. That section is out of combat. The truck rolls up. Doctor, where are you aiming that truck at?
The main gates. What do they have assembled directly in front of them?
Okay, so I'll explain this again.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's
Just a
perfectly
quick
fine.
rundown.
It's important for clarity. So in front of, when we say the main gates, I don't want you to think about a European drawbridge. That's not what's here. There is a 13 to 14 foot wall that surrounds the estate. Part of it, not dead center, a little actually off to the right, is a set of doors. They are very tall. In front of those doors is a slight step, a series of steps, right? 2 or 3. And then in front of that, probably about a meter or so, are 2 sort of half moon decorative walls, right? They're about 4 feet high, give or take. And there are little lantern lights inset in them. But they are seemingly made of fairly sturdy material. Stone.
Well, then I would say probably just slightly off to the side of the half moon so that we get as close to the doors, the large doors. I would like to try to put this truck as through those doors as possible. Now, if I have to do a little fancy soft shoe with the truck in the interim, that will be up to you. But that is my essential goal, is to get them, is to try to open the doors.
Yeah, so your issue is going to be the force of the truck would have to overcome that stone portion, fencing, to be able to apply its force to the doors. And
so I'd really have to just lay it down right now.
When we get close to the gates, I want to slam my hand on the top of the truck a few times, the cab.
Okay.
Stop.
Doc throws both feet onto the brakes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You brake the truck. It's roughly about, it's on the street where the estate is now, in the street now, having stopped.
Well, when Jack hits the top of when we get close to the gates, Jack hits the top of the roof, I bring the truck to a halt. Or probably crank down the old-fashioned window. Yeah?
We got something else to open the doors.
All right. Well, then you open
I'm going to be looking for how many people are around.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and make a spotted roll.
Jack, do you want to use those on the doors? Or do you want to use those on that? He gestures towards the half moon planter thing there. And then use the truck on the doors.
No, we use them on the doors.
Sounds wonderful to me.
49 out of 75.
Yeah, just keeping your eyes peeled on stuff, you see that there's differences in light now coming through on some of these slits on the high part of the wall.
Okay. So there's people walking in.
Or looking or opening up the little tiny windows inside so they can look out the slits that are there.
Okay.
I'm going to light the dynamite and toss them into the doors.
All right. So you're going to light each stick individually?
No. Remember I wrapped them all together?
You did?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
So, very importantly, then, you understand what kind of roll this is.
Yes, I do.
This is a throw roll.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I have luck.
Indeed.
I'm going to need... I only need 6 points of luck. That's a 26 over 20.
Go you.
So, Jack, you landed about where you want, give or take. Inside past these barrier walls towards the gate. What I'm going to do is let you roll many dice.
Oh, good. Oh, everybody down.
Oh, once I see that, I'm probably like sliding down to the floorboards.
So I want you to roll, because they are technically separate, they're not one device. I'd like you to roll 4d10, and I would like you to roll it 4 times.
Okay.
So give me 4 sets of damages.
Okay. 7.
Okay.
10. 19. And 10.
Okay. So there is a blast that goes off, a detonation. And it isn't one single detonation because obviously the sticks trigger at different times. But there is this sort of concussive, continuous blast. It is far bigger than you are expecting. Unfortunately for you and the rest of the people in the truck, it's going to affect the vehicle because it's so large. And so what I'm going to have all of you do is make a hard dex roll now, those of you who are in the truck. Those of you who are across the street, watch this happen in slow motion.
Because this breaks me out of my reverie, huh?
Just
55 out of 55.
Okay.
I got a 54 out of 65.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 3 points of luck to make that a hard.
Okay.
I would have to spend 25 luck. Oh, but I have 81.
I get a 7 out of 90 for an extreme success.
Okay, so Jack and Lillian are fine in the sense that when the blast goes off and the front end of the truck gets picked up off the ground, you are able to hold your stuff together. Miss O'Shea, you are propelled.
I said I slid to the floorboards.
You are propelled out the back of the truck window.
Oh, ouch.
And across the street from the blast and the force.
Fun.
Doctor, I'll get to you in a second.
And this is why you wear seatbelts.
The doctor's got a helmet.
That's true. Miss O'Shea, take 14 damage.
Good thing I have extra hit points.
You land not in the street, not on a nearby porch. You land up against a building and then eventually crumple over to the ground.
Okay.
Doctor.
Yeah.
You are propelled out of the truck as well. And the helmet might help, potentially.
Woo!
He has extra hit points, too.
He does. So you are going to take 16 points of damage.
Good Lord.
From the blast and the fall. The truck is now inoperable, as the front end has basically been blasted off. And so that's where we're at. The after effect, the moments after, really are something quite interesting. The front of this wall of the estate, probably a good 5 to maybe 8 yards on either side of the doors, crumples. The entire wall crumples. The internal portions of the estate, the rooms that are packed close to those walls, at least at one point they are completely exposed to the street. And you can now see what was in them. I mean, it was beds. And it does look like at one point, not anymore, by the way, but it looks like at one point people lived in here. They're not alive any longer.
Oops. Maybe I only needed 2 sticks, huh?
There are various, it appears, storerooms or various bedrooms which have been exposed now. You also now see the outer courtyard, which has been completely exposed because the wall is gone.
Hey, Doc, are you okay?
Oh, I get up. I'm okay. I dust it off.
Doc puts himself out again as he just took all of the extra hit points plus half of his own original hit points.
Ouch.
And yeah, he rolls about on the ground for a moment or two so that he stops smoldering.
Oh, the helmet would have afforded you 1 point of damage reduction.
Oh, fantastic.
Woo.
Okay, so he still has 9 hit points.
Yep. What's the move then?
Well, since they seem to be relatively okay, I'm going to hop down and dash for the door, or what was left of the door.
There's actually essentially a pile of rubble now in front of the estate, which was the wall and was the the outer walls of those rooms. There's no more door. It's gone. And there's a big hole dug into this portion, this front of the estate, which exposes, at one point, a tunnel, which is now filled with dirt and stone. But you can see as you run up the sort of the leftover walls that were made of a tunnel at one point.
Okay, I yell out, escape tunnels filled.
I will, looking down at the blade, I will close my eyes and murmur to myself, Je te contrôle, tu ne me contrôles pas. I control you, do not control me. I will grab the blade and I will sheath it and I will pull my shotgun. I will turn to Stasi, who is wounded.
Mm-hmm.
Who probably has a rather large bladed weapon sticking out from her chest.
Let me help you. I will begin singing again.
You're going to sing?
Yes,
If
and
you'd
I
help
will.
me, you'll have to put up with me for a little bit longer. I would make a beautiful corpse.
I will take my fingers and dip it into the blood that's pooling in the wound. And as I extract it, I'm going to put the same scars on her face. And I will cast Earthly Sight again.
Very good. For the healing effect, I assume?
Yes. So it will grant 4 hit points, and you will no longer feel pain or sanity loss or phobias or manias until it ends.
Little life insurance policy. Yeah, so the way this feels to you, Stasi, is it feels like being comforted from, well, like from your mom, something like that. There's a real maternal feel to this sense. You instantly feel better physically. Your spirit calms. You stop feeling any pain at the sight of this wound. And the wound that's there is mostly closed now. And it's nothing short of a miracle.
One day, Mr. Aaron, you will have to explain to me how you have such miraculous fingers.
Later. Now we kill.
Gladly.
Maybe you pick yourself up. You dust yourself off as best you can. It's not that it didn't hurt. Obviously, it hurt.
Yeah, it hurt.
And you, head back over towards the rest of them? Or
yeah, I will take out my knife and start running towards Jack.
So, Mr. Drummond, it seems that somehow Sam is helping her feel better. You're not sure?
I'm not paying attention. I'm busy stripping the uniform off of the guy who just got his neck wet.
Okay, you can strip his uniform off. It's not going to fit you. He's a good 6 inches shorter than you are.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
The point is not to look convincingly like him, but to, in coloration, look like him.
Okay.
It's kind of a uniform, basically. We've already picked it out.
Yeah, sure it is. I guess I would just. I'm happy to have you do it. That's perfectly fine. A bomb went off across the street. I don't know how much subterfuge is going to be left, but that's not my determination to make. That's yours.
I just want confusion.
You just want to loot the body.
No, because I didn't take any of the money, if it has any money. I just want a moment of hesitation anytime I get into a conflict with one of them.
Fair enough. You can get the jacket off of him. It's going to be a little gross because it's a dead man's coat, but, that's that.
I'll live.
You will.
But I just want to basically use disguise to give myself enough of a look of...
Sure, go ahead. Not a problem. Great use of the skill.
66 under 75.
Yeah, very good. You disguise yourself. So while Sam and Stasi are kumbayaing for the moment, you are preparing yourself, and then there are people rushing the front door at this point.
We will join them as soon as we're done.
Okay. As you head in, Jack, you have to basically climb over the rock pile that you made. It's a fairly deep recess into the outer courtyard, which has at one point had some very beautiful stonework done into it. That has been obliterated now. And there's probably probably a 10-yard section here where this has cratered and you're moving into the space. There's complete chaos now here in the house, as there are servants and staff members and likely others here who are running for their lives.
Well, I guess I made my mark in Shanghai.
Where are you going?
I can look in the buildings. Do they look like they're all connected and they go inside, or they separated from the main house?
Yeah, so let me give you a little bit of a walkthrough visually. Passing through the gates, there is an outer courtyard, what looks like an outer courtyard, right? It's all stone tile. There are doorways, right? Sort of like an outside school that lead to other places. There's a long hall in front of you that leads deeper into the property. And then to your right, it looks like at one point these were probably bedrooms. This looks like there's some place a little closer to you that maybe looks like it was some sort of repair shop. All that's obliterated now. This is not easy to look at for anybody who's coming through here, because the simple fact of the matter is there were people sleeping in those beds when that bomb went off. And you can tell because the ground and the walls are fucking painted with what you've done. That's impossible to get around. And so as you step through here, unless you're a very particular type of person, you're making a sanity roll. And the person who is a particular type of person knows who they are. They don't have to make it. But the rest of y'all aren't.
I'm kind of on the fence as to whether I'm that particular type of person or not.
No, Doctor, this is war. This is not okay.
Okay. All right.
There are some people who are cold-blooded or hard-boiled, and they don't have to make that roll. The rest of you are making this roll.
Doc is also giving the frontal assault team, as it were, and himself a bit of a gap.
Mm-hmm.
He has no business being on the front line.
Sure.
And so he's not as in a big a hurry as they were. Plus, he just took a shitload of damage. So he's, picking his way through the rubble fairly carefully.
No, certainly. You'll still have to make the sanity roll. That's fine.
So you want me to make a sand roll?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, because I'm running up behind Jack.
Yep.
I failed that shit.
I see that.
With a 48 over 37.
I wish I did. That's a 23 out of 49.
Okay. Mr. Drummond?
That's an 06. I'll take it.
Yep.
I get a 57 out of 37 for a failure.
So, Lillian, you may lose 3 points of sanity. For those of you passing, you lose 1 point of sanity. Yep, that's 3 for you as well, Doctor.
Oh, goody.
Chipping. Okay. All right, so you essentially have a couple of options here. You actually have several. So if you look left through the outer courtyard, there are several doors that sort of dot the inner portion here. I would say there's 4 or 5 of them. The space to your right where all of the gore is, there is a pathway you could go through that space if you were interested, and then there's the path directly ahead that leads deeper to the court, deeper into the estate.
I think I'm going to take the path directly ahead.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
Keeping an eye out for surviving guards.
I'm looking for basement doors or stairs down.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm following the direction of the tunnel that, you can see where it was, the general direction it was heading.
Yeah, that's dead ahead.
Yep. I'll follow Jack then.
Okay. You weave your way to a different portion of flooring. So you get beyond the outer courtyard. And that's when you start hearing a couple of things in the distance. One of them is the sound of water, like some sort of waterfall, lapping water. And then I'd like listen rolls from everybody who's in this space as you're moving through. The corridor tightens, so it gets about a meter or so wide at this point as the space starts to tighten up.
I got hard success.
Okay.
I got a failure.
Okay.
7 out of 20.
That's a hard success.
Normal success.
Success.
Okay. Okay. So your ears maybe not working so well. That's fine. It happens.
I think the blast and
My tinnitus.
almost dying. Yeah.
Up. Yeah, Stasi, for you can't really hear past anything than the blood pressure in your ear.
Yeah.
Jack, up ahead, what you hear sounds like people readying rifles.
All right, we got some guards up here. There's going to be some firefight.
So as you pass through this long, probably slowing a bit as you hear that, there is a door to your right, and then there's another one further up ahead to the left, and then there's another one further down and to the right. Before you can see that this long hallway seems to channel between an outer courtyard and maybe an inner portion. That inner portion is more where you're hearing that sound from. But there are doors to your left and right if you are at all.
I do want to check them because I don't want to get hit from behind.
Okay. So immediate right or further left or
immediate
far
right.
Okay.
Take them as they come.
You said this is a really narrow hallway, right?
It's about 1 meter wide, yeah.
Okay. So if Jack takes the right door, I will open the left door. I didn't want us to get sandwiched either, so.
Jack, you take the door to the right, and when you grab the handle, it's locked.
I kick it in.
Okay. It's iron barred, just so you're aware.
Oh, okay. I'm not kicking it in.
You get ready to kick it in, and you see the structure of the door, and you're like, ooh.
I'm going to try to use the butt of the gun to knock the handle off.
Okay.
That should bust the latch.
Yeah. Should.
That's 52 under 60.
Okay. You butt strike the handle. And when you do, I play a hand of fate against you, and you bust the handle.
Well, then they can't come out this way.
That's very true. Sam, when you go to the position on the left, this one opens effortlessly. And inside, you see a very luxurious dining hall, twice the size of Madame Lynn's. Long, beautiful.
Is there anybody eating in it?
Nope.
Clear.
I'll go that way.
What, into the
dining area.
Okay. You head into the dining area.
Because he said guards up ahead, and I don't want anybody shooting down this hallway at me.
As you head into the dining room a little bit deeper, you see that on the far right side, there are a pair of double doors. They seem to lead deeper into the estate.
There's doors down here.
I don't know if we want to split up.
I'm not going by myself.
What are
but
the rest of the folks doing?
There's guards.
I went left side.
I was bringing up the rear since I'm armored and I have a gun.
Probably walking next to Lillian then.
Okay.
And then I'll probably be in front of those two.
All right. People spilling into the dining room or people staying in the hallway? Just trying to get a judge.
I'm going to stay in the hallway.
I'll go with Maeve. I will cover with said shotgun.
You know what? Actually, let's go in the dining room. Maybe we can circle around behind them.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay. It's a little eerie here in this dining room because it's so quiet. You sort of stalk through. You see a massive wooden table. There must be seating here for 20. Beautiful tapestries on the walls, an amazing array of fineries here. I mean, they're probably worth quite a bit if you could actually get them out.
Is there a service entrance or a...
It's probably a kitchen through here, right?
Yeah, you see a pair of double doors over there, Sam. You're assuming that's either some sort of service area or something like that. Oh, there's also another set you now notice on the other side, back the way you came. So, if you're in the long dining room as you enter, on the far right side of it are a pair of double doors. And about midway down on the left-hand side of it, you see a pair of double doors.
So the ones on the right go further in, right? The
Yes,
direction we're going. And so
That's correct.
Okay. I will stop here and then I will check the door on the left to make sure again that we're not going to get right. Cause that's back toward the front of the house.
Yes, it is. So checking on the doors, these are free swinging doors, the ones that you're checking, Sam. It opens into a kitchen. An empty kitchen, basically. There's no one in here.
Kitchen's clear.
Given the time of night.
Mm-hmm. steps, and then I'll move up towards the other set and stand to one side and wait for Sam or Jack.
I guess I'll take the double doors in since Sam's checking the kitchen.
Okay.
Is it locked?
It's not.
Okay, I crack it.
It's a very tight hallway. It's about the width or so of the hallway you were just in, but it's short. It's maybe 2 or 3 meters, and then there's another set of doors. You hear the water a little bit closer here now.
All right. We'll go, I'll continue on to the other set of doors.
Okay. You continue through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with him.
Okay.
I'm following along close behind.
Mm-hmm. You get to the second set of doors. They're not locked either.
All right. I'll do it again. I'll crack it open just a little bit. See if I can see through it.
You can see through it. You see just in the moonlight here, the available space, that there is an enormous pool here. You see all sorts of water features. There's a elegant bubbling water feature here at one end of it. And I'd like you to make me a hard spot hidden roll, Jack.
11, so that's extreme.
Without a doubt, there are things in the water. And I think that's where I'm going to call the session to a close. So thank you so much for joining us on this rather, we'll just say bombastic episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep. I look forward to seeing what our investigators get up into in the estate of Ho Fang next time